5 minutes ago, Prince William and Anne confirms tragic news about King Charles' health crises. King Charles collapsed, right there in the private chambers of Buckingham Palace. His body crumpled like a discarded decree at 3:17 a.m. William caught him first. Anne was already calling the emergency physician. Camilla stood frozen, her face a mask of shock and denial. The palace corridors erupted into absolute chaos. Footmen scrambling, doors slamming, whispers turning into frantic orders. But the real story isn't the collapse itself. It's the secret medical dossier from December 2025 that proves this was no sudden event. This was the inevitable breaking point of a cover-up that stretched back months. And now, the monarchy itself is fracturing under the weight of one man's refusal to step back. William's voice cracked as he confirmed the news just minutes ago. My father is facing an incurable condition following this cardiac crisis. We are taking decisive action. Anne stood beside him, her expression carved from granite, eyes burning with the fire of duty. No spin, no palace platitudes, just raw, unfiltered truth, the kind the late Queen Elizabeth would have demanded. Here's where it gets ugly. Weeks earlier, during a closed-door investiture rehearsal at Windsor Castle, Charles had suffered a minor collapse. Private letters uncovered from the royal physician's secure vault show warnings delivered in stark black and white. His Majesty must reduce duties immediately. Risk of fatal arrhythmia, 87%. Dated November 12, 2025. Signed, sealed, ignored. Camilla pushed back hard. Sources close to the midnight council meetings reveal she insisted on suppressing the reports. The king will not be seen as weak, she reportedly declared in a heated exchange captured in leaked staff notes. A calculated, cold-blooded maneuver to protect the image at the cost of his life. The red dispatch boxes kept piling up. State papers, foreign briefings, ceremonial approvals, each one a silent assassin. William and Anne had seen enough. In the sterile glow of the royal medical suite at 2:45 a.m., the confrontation exploded. William, voice steady with the logic of a future king, stripped away the illusions. This isn't about protocol anymore, Father. It's about survival. Anne, ever the unflinching guardian of family duty, confronted Camilla directly. Your protection has become poison. Diana's legacy demands honesty, not this veil of secrecy. Camilla was left stunned, isolated in the corner of that suite, her influence cracking like fine porcelain. She had positioned herself as the devoted shield, but the uncovered audit reports from the royal household tell a different story. Codependency masking deeper control. Private deeds of gift rerouted through her private secretaries, funds siphoned toward maintaining an outdated facade of royal invincibility. The palace officials were scrambling. Emergency decrees flew between lawyers at 4 a.m. Section 4 of the Regency protocols dusted off from the state vault, now activated under the radar. The red dispatch boxes redirected. Not to Charles's desk, but to a secure annex where William could review them without the crushing weight of pretense. He refused to sit in his father's chair. A small act, a massive symbol. Anne managed the household reorganization with military precision, reassigning loyal staff and sidelining those entangled in the old deceptions. Flash back to the heart of the cover-up. Charles, in his private study overlooking the gardens, had dictated a handwritten memo on October 28, 2025. I remain fully capable. Any suggestion otherwise betrays the institution. That document, now leaked, sits at the center of this storm. Suppressed medical scans, ignored cardiologist consultations in a discreet Harley Street clinic. The palace complicit, feeding the narrative of a robust sovereign while his body betrayed him. William carried the external weight of the crown with quiet brutality, every decision laced with the spirit of his grandmother. The Queen would not have allowed this charade to continue, he reportedly told Anne in a recorded private conversation obtained by insiders. Anne, channeling Diana's legacy of compassion over concealment, pushed for full transparency. The people deserve to know. The family needs to heal. Camilla felt the change immediately. Her private apartments, once buzzing with influence, now echoed with devastating silence. The power grab she had orchestrated through subtle manipulations unraveled in hours. Leaked council minutes from the emergency session show her final plea: he is still king. William's response was ice. He is first our father. The institutional shift hit like an earthquake. Constitutional experts, pulled from their beds, confirmed the temporary transfer. Royal household staff reassigned. Foreign dignitaries quietly notified. The symbols of power, those heavy red boxes, the keys to the state vault, even the untouched teacup from Charles's last official meeting, now told the story of a monarchy forced to evolve. In a recorded message played for the inner circle, Charles's voice, frail but resolute, finally broke through. I failed to acknowledge the limits. The crown must not consume the man. A private meeting followed in the medical suite, William and Anne present, Camilla on the periphery. Tears flowed not from weakness, but from the shattering of illusions. The king admitted the deception, the suppression of warnings, the human cost of clinging to archaic traditions. Yet even in reconciliation, tensions simmer. The permanent reduction in Charles's workload is underway, a new, more transparent era dawning. But at what price? William now shoulders burdens that would break lesser men. Anne stands as the unyielding anchor, her actions rooted in duty and the memory of the late Queen. Camilla watches from the shadows, her role diminished, her influence under scrutiny like never before. The palace remains in turmoil. Lawyers are already drafting the next phase of this unprecedented transition. This health crisis has exposed the raw underbelly of the institution. The secret documents, the midnight audits, the family fractures healed in blood and resolve. But as we speak, new reports emerge from the royal physicians, further tests scheduled, more revelations possible. The monarchy is transforming, from invincible tradition to a family finally allowed to be human. Yet the battle for its soul rages on. King Charles's condition remains critical. William and Anne have drawn their line. Camilla's isolation deepens, and the dispatch boxes continue their relentless march. This is far from over. The shockwaves are only beginning.